10 lunch, and just a great representation of this school, and will have to play well tonight, obviously, to give themselves a chance.
10 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions on the season. DJ Knox, the rugged tailback, motions in. They fake it to him. Blau wants to throw, and first down, and it's the catch made by Rondale Moore, who escapes. Look out, he's got blazing speed and a lot of power to go to the 40-yard line as well.
Very first play, they're going to give Rondale Moore space. Look how far off Jordan Fuller is. You cannot do that against number 4, Rondale Moore. He is too quick in space. Ohio State needs to put somebody up tight on him to try to slow him down.
Now he goes in motion. They throw it to him on the far side. It's bobbled. And
they can do every single time.
And it's working.
He hammers down. He hammers down again. He hammers down.
We're working there. Going live.
Dwayne Haskins, with the season he's having, he could own every passing record at Ohio State.
Rondale Moore, he's going to be worthy of another kicker by Saturday night.
5, here we go. 3, 2, 1. This is
Purdue is pumped up for this ABC National Showcase. Welcome back to this presentation of the Big Ten on ABC. Urban Meyer's teams at Ohio State 27-2 on the road. He's with Maria Taylor. Hi, Maria.
All right, Coach. So we know that Purdue generates big plays, occasionally off of trick plays. What does your defense have to do to start the night?
Oh, they're going to have their plays. You got to get them on the ground and make them go the distance. You know, make them earn their yards.
Dwayne Haskins just came up behind you, gave you the bunny ears. What do you have to see from him early tonight?
We got to control this crowd a little bit and get some first downs and play field position and then hit some big ones too.
All right, thanks for your time.
Get the bunny ears there from Dwayne Haskins.
A lot of Scarlet. It's about a 3.5-hour drive to Columbus, and Ohio State fans, we know how they travel. And the Scarlet sprinkled in among all these black Purdue fans here tonight. Not a full blackout, but the Boilermakers wearing the all-black uniforms. There's one, he's in the wrong section, but he's got plenty of friends in Scarlet and Gray tonight here. Ohio State won the toss and deferred. Purdue received, but they're going to work right into the wind in the first quarter. It's died down a little bit, but it's going to be a factor kicking and throwing the football. Lake Hobbiel to kick it away, and it's taken by Rondale Moore. And the freshman electric returner and slot receiver tackled at the 17. So David Blau comes from the Dallas area. He's a graduate student. He's got deep faith, perhaps a future minister. He's made 7 trips to South Africa to mentor orphans who've been orphaned by AIDS down there. Quite a young man.
Yeah, just a tremendous leader. Brings all the intangibles to the table to his football team. Gave a great speech, remember, a couple of years ago at the Big Ten lunch, and just a great representation of this school. And will have to play well tonight, obviously, to give themselves a chance.
10 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions on the season. DJ Knox, the rugged tailback, motions in. They fake it to him. Blau wants to throw, and first down. And it's the catch made by Rondale Moore, who escapes. Look out, he's got blazing speed and a lot of power to go to the 40-yard line as well.
Very first play, they're going to give Rondale Moore space. Look how far off Jordan Fuller is. You cannot do that against number 4, Rondale Moore. He is too quick in space. Ohio State needs to put somebody up tight on him to try to slow him down.
Now he goes in motion. They throw it to him on the far side. It's bobbled, and it's ruled incomplete. Moore with 45 catches. That's 25 more than the second leading receiver here. They'll operate behind an offensive line that should have its hands full tonight against the Buckeye front.
But it is a veteran bunch. Kirk Barron, 53, is the leader. They're going to need something out of their running game, which means DJ Knox, one, is a guy to watch. Sparks and Zico have to step up along with Hopkins to try to take some of the heat off of for the freshman. Moore.
Yeah, Jeff Brom feels he needs a big game out of 89. His tight end Hopkins. They work the middle, and they tried to feed it right to him, and it's broken up by Warner, who figures to have some challenges in coverage tonight.
This defense, of course, has had to learn to live without Nick Bosa, Chase Young, and Draymond Jones, the leaders up front. Tough Borland, and also Malik Harrison back in the lineup.
Damon Arnett did not make the trip. He's suffering from a head injury, so Jeffrey Okuda steps in as the starting corner.
Got great length, and will have to hold up in man-to-man coverage. Great player.
This is the challenge against Ohio State big time. 3rd and 10. They show pressure up the middle. Blau backpedals, has a clean pocket, but delivers way over the head of his tight end, who was pleading for a flag. There isn't one, and the Boilermakers will have to punt.
Well, coming out of the break, he got grabbed in the face mask. That's what he's upset about. When he came out of his break, Isaiah Pryor grabbed him by the face mask, not the jersey. That's what he was upset. The big guy right there, slowed him down and affected the timing between the quarterback and the big tight end, Hopkins.
Joe Shopper is a 4th-year punter for Purdue. Gets it away. They pressured him. And a fair catch made by K.J. Hill, short-handed receiver who takes over at the 23-yard line. So here comes Dwayne Haskins. We've told you his story before. He's kind of living his dream as Ohio State quarterback. I asked about Heisman contention. He deflected that, but said, in the video game world, the game you were involved in, he was twice the Heisman Trophy winner.
There you go.
So he may live out that dream, perhaps.
He has been so poised and has handled himself so well with all the success that he has had. He's quick to deflect all the attention. Again, tonight, he's going to look to spread this defense out and then take some shots downfield.
And right away, the offensive line with a flinch here.
False start. Offense number 13. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
It's the tight end, Rashad Berry. They're right in front of the Purdue students. We've seen this offensive line deal with noise at Penn State.
And remember, last week, this offensive line had some real issues up front against Minnesota, especially Isaiah Prince, the right tackle. Could not run the ball as well, and also the pass protection was an issue. Now here they are on the road a week later.
Boilermakers bring pressure off the edge. There's a flag down as Dobbins gets a screen and slips down short of the 20. So right away, defensive coordinator Nick Holt giving a blitz look.
They may have had an illegal formation here. Like maybe 5 guys in the backfield.
Haskins was trying to direct traffic pre-snap, asking whether the Boilermakers want to decline the penalty.
Illegal formation. Offense. 5 men in the backfield. The penalty is declined. 2nd down.
Now they'll take the play, which resulted in just a short gain. So 2nd and about see where they spot the ball.
You can see all, including the quarterback, 5 there. Receiver up at the top, needed to be up on the line of scrimmage, was not. So a couple miscues for Ohio State here early to start this game. With the way they throw the football, that's the beauty of Dwayne Haskins. He can get you out of these holes.
Paris Campbell on the edge, and that excellent blocking core of Buckeye receivers, not able to create space for him. Jacob Thieneman drove him out. Thayer Munford is playing through a hip injury. He's trying to grit his teeth at left tackle tonight.
Yes, sir. And as a group, the entire group's got to do a good job of keeping Haskins protected. Dobbins needs a big night to throw the ball or running the ball. And you know about McLaurin, Campbell, Mack, and company on the outside. Been a huge addition to this offense this year along with Haskins.
Excellent 3rd down team this year, but the Buckeyes need 11. Haskins gets it out. Campbell on the edge. Can he make a man miss? No. Sure-handed tackle over there, and the Boilermakers force a punt.
Good job of mixing things up. Purdue has got to get creative, and that's what they do. You'll see a stunt from the outside with Derek Barnes, and even though Haskins getting rid of the ball quickly, that pressure forced him to get the ball out fast, and that's a big key right there. Can they rally against the Ohio State speed and tackle in space? That time they did on 3rd down.
Good tackle by Simeon Smiley, the backup safety. So early mental mistakes by Ohio State put him behind the sticks, and here's more. The punt returner, who is just absolutely electric every time he touches the ball. Boilermakers much better field position now on their 2nd possession. You know about Nick Bosa's groin surgery. This week, one of the best players in the sport announced he would withdraw from school to focus on the draft, making a business decision rather than try to rehab and perhaps play in a postseason game. It's been much talked about in the Buckeye Nation for sure, but they'll have to do without him for the rest of the season. Chase Young had a tremendous game in his absence at Penn State, picking up the slack, but it's not easy to make up for the loss of number 97. Boilermakers from the 40. They fake it to Moore. And Blau, with the back foot, just slings it into the bench. There was good coverage. Your reaction to Bosa's decision, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how you're viewing that decision. We don't know the depth of the injury, and we've heard from his father that at the very earliest he would have been back mid-December at the earliest. So he decides to pull himself away from the program, and some people are a little bit surprised that he wouldn't stay with his team. But as you said, business decision to get ready for the draft and get his body in the position it needs to be to possibly be the top pick overall.
A few programs emphasize the NFL as much as Ohio State does in their complex. It's hard to be surprised when a guy decides to make a decision based on the NFL. Hand off to Markel Jones, and he is swarmed right at the line of scrimmage by Baron Browning, the middle linebacker.
If you're an Ohio State fan, this is a great sign. They've been kind of waiting for Browning to kind of take over in that middle spot and do this quick. Didn't hesitate, got downhill, avoided the lineman getting up to the second level, and no gain at all. That's the instincts. This is a guy that was the #1 linebacker coming out of high school, but yet as a sophomore hasn't quite been able to deliver. That was a great play there.
Wow, after hitting Moore in his first pass, incomplete on his last 4. Empty backfield now on 3rd and 10. Buckeyes bring some pressure. Blau again fading away and throws it over the head of Moore. And he is knocked down after the throw. Sean Wade in coverage there. Here comes the punt team.
Well, Ohio State, they brought 5. Draymond Jones actually is able to beat his man, Shane Evans, the left guard. Just comes right through there. And see Chase Young trying to get there, but eventually it's 86 who gets in there along with Cooper. And I'll tell you right now, Ohio State doing a nice job of affecting Blau, who came in as hot as any quarterback in the country, not settling in just yet because of that pressure.
And throwing into this pretty stiff breeze in the first quarter. Buckeyes come after the punter, and there's a flag. They knocked down Shopper. And if this is a personal foul, it will be a first down. Justin Hilliard's their star on special teams. Makes a lot of big plays, but he ran into Shopper. Let's see if it's the 5-yard or 15-yard variety.
First indication looks like it's running into the punter.
In that case, it would not be a first down.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a pretty good acting job by Spencer Evans. In fact, the flag didn't come in until late.
Running into the kicker. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 4th down.
So Shopper, the veteran, tried to draw the personal foul, didn't get it done. And Hilliard's penalty doesn't cost him a first down.
Launch point was where you want to be. He actually went underneath of Shopper.
Yeah, it looks like running into.
Yeah. Sorry, I called him Evans. It is Joe Shopper. See, Hilliard does. Yeah, that's the right call, running into, and another kick. I mean, you talk about trick plays. It's early in this game, but Ohio State, the first punt, they were concerned with the alignment of Purdue's punt team. So you said with all the trick plays, always have your head on a swivel and be ready.
This time they peel back to set the return. I mean, Shopper, a very high boot. Hill's going to come up and make a fair catch at the 25-yard line. So far the defenses have dominated. Second possession for Dwayne Haskins with those 28 touchdown passes to lead the FBS.
Saturday Night Football on ABC is presented by Walmart. Discover more ways to shop at Walmart today. And in part by Nissan. Innovation that excites.
Now the great Drew Brees, but an incredible quarterback tradition. Lead with Greasy, unbroken into Phipps, into Gary Danielson. Mark Herman from 77 to 80, right into Jim Everett.
It's impressive.
Drew Brees, of course, the all-time passing yards leader in the NFL. Remember, for the Ravens tonight, he's going to try to look in on this game as much as he can, but he's a total pro, and he
locked in.
Takes his job pretty seriously.
He sure does.
Mike Weber is the back. And they flip it in the flat. And Johnny Dixon able to get about 5 yards. Here's our Chick-fil-A impact players tonight, Kurt.
Yeah, and of course, you got to look outside of the quarterback with Haskins out on the perimeter with KJ Hill and Terry McLaurin, two really talented wide receivers. Marcus Bailey, who's from the Columbus area, went to Hilliard-Davidson's, got to make some plays and get pressure on Haskins. And Thieneman, 41, guy they like to blitz, especially on third downs. He'll be very, very active in run support, 41.
Haskins 4 for 4, but only 11 yards so far. Play action, and they sling it to the middle, and another catch up at the 45-yard line. Hill has a first down.
And does a nice job. Remember, this is a zone, so as you see the receiver work across the middle, here's the soft spot in that zone. This is what makes Haskins so good. He feels that, senses it, and gets the ball out quickly.
Playing with tempo and a first down handoff to Weber, who barrels for about 3.5.
You know, people have talked about where is the running game gone in recent weeks, and Urban Meyer and his staff have said publicly to the media, you know, the RPOs, the run pass options have indicated for us to throw the ball based on defensive alignment.
And this is Weber in the flat. That's almost like a running play. Makes the catch, dives, but a yard short of the first down. And if Major knocked him out.
Yeah, and I think what you're seeing is a lot of those passes, the passes out into the perimeter, the short, quick passes, are really, they've become an extension of their running game.
And there's a first down carry inside the 45 to Weber.
With that being said, I would also tell you, in my opinion, watching this offensive line, I thought this line by the middle of the year would start to become more physical and more dominant at the line of scrimmage. So we could talk run pass option all we want. I don't think the line has gelled. I don't think they have the continuity that they had hoped to have at this point, and I don't think they're blowing people off the ball the way they had hoped to.
Boilermakers bring pressure. Haskins hit as he throws, but he gets the ball to Luke Farrell, the tight end. They're considered a better pass protecting offensive line than run blocking, right? But they gave up 4 sacks to Minnesota.
Yeah, they sure did. And I think the other thing is you take away over the last things. Urban Meyer's been the head coach at Ohio State. He had Braxton Miller, JT Barrett for the most part, dual threat quarterbacks. They were part of the running game. First time other than Cardale Jones, they haven't had that.
They fake it to Campbell, and Weber on the misdirection is knocked down. Good open field tackle by Major, the corner. It'll be third down and about 3.
You know, when I had Northwestern in Purdue week 1 on a Thursday night, Chris, when you were with the U.S. Open, and they didn't really have any answers at corner. They had a lot of young players, and Major has developed in these first 5 weeks.
Flag before the snap and a false start, and then I'll back him up. It'll be third and about 8 or 9 now.
False start. Offense number 59. 5-yard penalty. Remains third
That's something to watch, though, because when Isaiah Prince makes a mental mistake like that, sometimes the mistakes come in bunches and he gets down on himself.
And I will tell you this, after the week he had last week, especially in that second half, now he's on the road with a crowd. You get to third down. I'm not surprised he's jumping the gun there a little bit to try to get outside, try not to give up a sack the way he did last week.
That's made it a much more challenging third down play. They need 8.5 here.
And Purdue will bring pressure.
We're showing it pre-snap.
See, he sees these linebackers right here walking up. And they drop out.
And now Haskins, who rarely scrambles, is hit hard, way short of the marker. Marcus Bailey out of Columbus, Ohio, who is keyed up for this game, made the stop.
Now watch. He made a check based on all those linebackers up tight. He wanted to get the ball out quickly. Nick Holt, great job of showing blitz. Haskins checked to a blitz beater. And then at the snap of the ball, they drop back, rush 3 and drop 8 and sit in a zone. He had nowhere to go with the ball. Cat and mouse game, a chess match, and Nick Holt and Purdue win that one.
Bailey, Kirk talked to him. He said, I'm going to have to keep my emotions in check, not be sky high. Buckeyes did not offer him a scholarship, and he was highly motivated. That had to feel good. That stop on the quarterback on third down. Buckeye special teams do a superb job. McLaurin, the receiver, flying down there, got a hand on it, and the Boilermakers going to be backed up a foot from their goal line.
Urban Meyer prides himself on special teams. The progressive pylon cam shows you when you have starters on special teams, you get breaks like this, and it ultimately affects field position.
with DirecTV. More for your college football thing. Oregon, Washington State, Mike Leach getting creative. Watch the center split out, snaps back on a diagonal, and then James Booby Williams turns the trickeration into beast mode. Gets 6. That crowd still going wild this morning on game day. Cougars up 7-0 in the first, Chris.
Cassidy, that was an amazing scene, and they had the early lead. Boilermakers take over at the 2. It was a tough run by DJ Knox. McLaurin first touched the ball at the 2. Was down inside the 1, but they spotted at the 2. And the Boilermakers, after 23 yards in their opening play, 0 to the next 6.
Yeah, and the timing of that punt and that hustle by McLaurin and Dante Booker, who ended up downing it, huge to pin Purdue back. David Blau, in his experience, he's been through a lot of adversity. Off to a slow start, needs to find a play to kind of find some rhythm. Tough to do when you're pinned back this deep.
They fake it, and from the end zone, he fires second completion, catch made by Jared Sparks. And the man who came here from Louisiana as a quarterback, converted to wide receiver, moves the sticks.
And Okuda had him on cover. Watch how he bails, and then he just stops. That's exactly what you want if you're David Blau, looking to try to go into that rhythm that I talked about. Sometimes it's just one pass like that that can get you going. He's had a hard time settling his feet in some of these first few throws. We'll see if that throw can settle him in.
Sparks got 16. They get out from the shadow of the goalpost, and now here comes the reverse. It's a flea flicker. Blau looking for a receiver, tried to find the tight end, but Hopkins was well covered, so Harrison swallows him up for a 3-yard loss.
You've been talking trick plays all week. Ohio State did their homework because they had everybody covered downfield. Very good job of being disciplined by Greg Schiano's bunch downfield. Nowhere to go with the football. So typically they try to catch a safety, napping, coming up in run support. But Ohio State, that time ready and in position.
Yeah, Jeff Brom loves the special plays, but he also knows that penetration can blow them up, and they won't work if the Buckeyes are getting in the backfield like that. So now on 2nd and long, a long throw. A flag comes out as Moore makes the catch.
Now there's defensive holding on Sean Wade, and he's on Rondale Moore. It still did not stop Rondale Moore from being able to pull out of that hold and still eventually make a reception.
You saw his coming out here in the opener against Northwestern, and there was a lot of hype coming in, but he has even surpassed the hype.
Yeah,
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense number 24. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
How explosive is he in and out of breaks?
Keep in mind, we'll show you a video. It's the face mask right here. Grabs a hold of the jersey as well. Moore doesn't give up on the route. The kid squats 600 pounds. I mean, he's like 175 to 180 pound true freshman. He had some big-time schools out there looking at him, whether it's Texas or Ohio State or Alabama, Florida State, you name it. And he pulls the hat out and he puts on Purdue and surprised a lot of people. Keep in mind, went to the same high school as Jeff Brom in Louisville at Trinity.
That comes from Southern Indiana, but actually moved across the river to go to high school in Louisville. And now Blau's under pressure, and he's going to be slammed to the ground. Jonathan Cooper got there to clean it up. Chase Young is providing pressure as well. To Maria Taylor on the sidelines.
Well, one thing that Rondale Moore has proven is his maturity for sure. And one thing that David Blau told me was before they even had any practices during those scrimmages in the summer, he would FaceTime him to check in with David Blau so he could write up every single play on the script because he wanted to know exactly what he'd be running the next day. That's how invested he is in this program and being the best player that he possibly can be. And we see it displayed on the field all the time.
And Maria, you know how rare that is for a true freshman to walk onto a campus and do that.
And play action. Blau makes a long throw. Moore, a juggling catch. The whole skill set on display. He's a very confident young guy, and he knew he was going to have the chance to make impact plays this year if he came to Purdue.
You're right. This is big-time recruit against big-time recruit. Sean Wade, who's from IMG, matched up. He's a redshirt freshman, matched up against Rondale Moore. That's good against good. Two really talented players. And Moore right now having his way against 24 Sean Wade. Remember, this drive started inside their 1-yard line. We talked about it. Any moment, Blau can find that rhythm and get things going.
Yeah, he's had 3 completions into the wind in the drive. They've already moved it 51 yards. Knox, who is not the fastest guy, a powerful runner. Runs with a chip on his shoulder and some anger, but it's going to be 4th down. So a decision for Brom here, Buckeye territory. Need less than a yard.
He's an aggressive coach. Be shocked if he didn't go for this. He's already calling the play to get it ready. Good play, by the way, by Malik Harrison, 39. Sat out last week with a concussion protocol. Is already a couple times you've seen him make plays at the line of scrimmage or near the line of scrimmage.
They've only converted once on 4th down all year in 4 tries. Blau sneaks it and gets it inside the 45.
Yeah, he followed the big fella, Kirk Barron, the center, and Dennis Edwards, the right guard. Keep in mind, Dennis Edwards, a Western Kentucky transfer, 64, a big fella, over 300 pounds, graduate transfer.
Western Kentucky, of course, is where Brom came from. He was a Petrino assistant for a year, then the head coach for 3 seasons. Took him, and they won 3 bowl games in his years with the Hilltoppers. First down throw, and that's the tight end, Bryson Hopkins. His dad, Brad, know him well from the Titans at the Houston Oilers, 13 years, all pro in the NFL.
Yeah, played at Illinois, really good player in college, and also obviously had a great career in the NFL. Has to be proud of his son, becoming a really good tight end.
And Knox around the right end, cuts back, knocked down by Okuda. It'll be 3rd down.
I think DJ Knox is a perfect fit for this scheme that Jeff Brom likes to run. You get so caught up in the spread formations, all the receivers, the quarterbacks getting rid of the ball. And then if you don't remember, this offensive line is physical, and DJ Knox is a physical back, low center of gravity, tough guy.
Really broken out the last couple of weeks. Had a big touchdown run against Nebraska, ran for 150 against Illinois. A 3rd down throw from Blau, and it's Moore across the middle. Beats his man again. Very tough to get to the ground with just 1 defender, and he's inside the 25.
And you want to try to find any way you can to get number 4 the ball in space. They blitz Werner 20, and Pryor's late in coming down. I'm telling you, you can't afford to give Rondale Moore 3 yards, 4 yards, and think, okay, I'm in good position, because they're just looking to dump it to him and let him dance and make plays.
No freshman in the country has made a bigger impact first half of the season than Rondale Moore. Pressure immediately. Blau trying to spin away and throws it away just before the sack. Heavy pressure, Malik Harrison.
Greg Schiano, as you get deeper and deeper into Ohio State territory, you're going to start seeing these blitzes. You can see a lot of pressure. Malik Harrison coming right up the middle. Turf Borland also coming in. And I'll tell you, David Blau, a magician that time to somehow get rid of that football and throw it in the direction of one of his wide receivers to not get the intentional grounding.
Like his elusiveness. He has a feel.
Just
not
enough.
the fastest guy, but
Absolutely.
he can scramble and escape and extend plays. They can pressure again. Blau lofts it down the sidelines, tries to get it to Sparks, and here comes a flag. Defended by the speedy Kendall Sheffield, but it's going to be offensive interference on Purdue. That's the signal.
He was grabbing over top of him and pushed him down.
Offense, number 12, 15-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Sheffield got physical, but the ball was not up into the air. And then as you continue to see Sparks try, look right there, he grabs on it, headlock, pushes him down. Good call by the official.
Man, Purdue, a very impressive and important drive from their own 2-yard line, but offensive pass interference is almost always a drive killer. And they are way back at the 38, trying to get into field goal range into the wind now. 2nd and 25.
Good job by Sheffield using his body position there to block out the receiver, Sparks.
Blau backpedals. It's a screen. Knox has a lot of room. Cuts it back. Loses the football. It rolls out of bounds at the Buckeye 10. So Purdue retains possession.
But it'll come back.
Right.
Yeah. Right where he lost the football.
I still think he's got a first down. It's about the 12-yard line where they're putting it down.
Yeah. Move the sticks. How about the call, by the way, Chris? Ohio State's been blitzing like crazy. What's a great answer to a blitz? Set up a screen pass to a talented running back in Knox and get him the football out in space.
It was Reap who eventually caught up and knocked the ball out of bounds. But the Boilermakers, from their goal line, trying to get to Ohio State's goal line. Wrestled down behind the line, Markel Jones. Davon Hamilton, who says that Ohio State's defense has got to start faster. They got to prepare better. Hasn't always been a fast starting defense.
Blau is looking for matchups down in this area. He's got to be able to find it. They've struggled to score touchdowns down in this area. This is where he's looking for his big tight ends or also Rondale Moore.
Exactly, Kirk. The 31 red zone trips, only 17 touchdowns. Kicked 11 field goals in the red zone. And now a throw to the end zone. Caught, touchdown! Isaac Zico! And Purdue goes 98 yards on the drive.
How about Zico? A little bit of a bobble. Right foot gets down right there. And I think his right foot is in. Possession after the slight bobble. There's just a little bit of a bobble at the beginning when the left foot's down, but when the right foot touches there, he's got possession. And that is a heck of a play by Zico, who had a huge game a week ago against Illinois with 5 catches and 127 yards.
Tremendous job by the senior out of Georgia, the junior college transfer in his second season here. Just a sliver of grass between his foot and the sideline there. And that is an incredible drive for Purdue. They had been sputtering and struggling on offense. Backed up with their 15 plays, 98 yards in more than 7 minutes.
Offside. Defense made contact. The penalties declined. This is a try for point.
That is not a Purdue drive, Kirk. We talked about their reliance, their dependence on big plays. They don't churn out drives like that typically.
No, and they were able to convert some third downs, keep that drive alive. They had a 4th and short to keep that drive alive.
Wow, was 7 of 8.
Yeah.
And now, Spencer Evans on for the PAT. He missed 3 this year. Point afters have not been automatic for the Boilermakers. Had one blocked. One went off the upright. That was the senior from Texas. This one is right down the middle. What a drive for the Boilermakers.
You know, there's the touchdown. And I want to go back to that long play by Knox where he fumbled the ball forward and where they placed the ball. First of all, this is a great effort at the far right by Isaac Zico. Battling with Sheffield, who's in good position. Outstanding throw, but the concentration by Zico gives him the touchdown. We mentioned it during the first review of this. The right foot is in. It's clearly a touchdown. But if you go back to that play where Knox is, another good look at that. Go back to, remember, that was a crucial third down where Knox had fumbled the ball at the 17-yard line, and it went forward out of bounds at the 12. They placed the ball at the 12-yard line, gave Purdue a first down. The ball, and with Dave Kataya, who's up here, he could explain this better than me. Dave, the ball should be placed, I believe, where the ball, especially when it goes forward, where the ball is knocked out.
When the ball is fumbled forward out of bounds, it's supposed to be restored to the spot of the fumble, which was not the 12-yard line.
17.
It was the 17-yard line, correct.
That was crucial. Gave them the first down. Purdue capped off their longest drive of the season, both in plays, yards, and time. So the Boilermakers, 2 touchdown underdogs, jump on top. Now Johnny Dixon charges up, makes a fingertip grab of the kickoff, and has space. Dixon, stutter steps. Terrific return out across the 45 of a very short kick into the wind. With a look at this fumble and the spot, which is curious, Dave.
Okay, you can see that he loses possession at around the 17-yard line. The ball goes forward and out of bounds. That, because it goes out of bounds forward, it is returned to the spot of the fumble, which was the 17-yard line. And that is reviewable.
It actually rolled out at the 11. They spotted at the 12.
Right.
Doubly confusing. Would not have been a first down on that play. Now Haskins takes a downfield shot, and McLaurin is wide open, but with the wind at his back, he overthrew the receiver. There is a flag near the line of scrimmage.
Personal foul. Hands to the face. Defense number 98. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Kai Higgins is penalized. It'll move the ball into Purdue territory, but not often do you see Dwayne Haskins miss an open receiver deep like that.
No, and Ohio State's motion giving Purdue a miscommunication, and Purdue catches a break because Dwayne Haskins, wind or no wind, doesn't miss very often. Told you, they lull you to sleep. They throw a lot of the underneath routes, and just when you think that's where they are, they're going to hit a vertical stretch and a vertical seam, and that's what they had there with McLaurin.
Dobbins takes the pitch, gets the edge, and will be knocked down after a 6-yard gain. Cornell Jones, the middle linebacker, was there. And there's another flag down.
Flag in there late. And Dobbins getting up. Remember, the pregame festivities involved Cornell Jones, 46, and Dobbins. And that time, Jones pushed Dobbins down after he got tackled out of bounds. There was a lot of, you and I were on the field. 46 was right in the middle of it.
Play was over. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense number 46. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Remember what Jeff Brom told his team in the pregame speech. Don't get caught up in this kind of stuff. Don't do the jog. Just play your game.
He makes a tackle, and then he has to do that on the Ohio State sideline. And you know, I called a game, the first game of the year, same thing where they made a mental error with Lorenzo Neal, cost him the game against Northwestern. Those are the things you can't do against a talented team like Ohio State and try to expect to pull off an upset.
So 2 personal fouls by Purdue, setting Ohio State up in the red zone. Haskins slings it near side, catch made, and McLaurin is knocked down right there. It'll be a 1st and goal.
This is a great example for all of us that when you watch a team like Ohio State, they're battle tested. They played against TCU. They were down in that second half, had to look at each other and find ways to come back, and they did. They went to State College. Looked like with 8 minutes to go, they're out of that game. Boom, they found a way to come back. So when you go through those experiences, you really don't panic. You get into this kind of situation on the road.
Dobbins runs right into heavy traffic. Boilermakers were crowding the line. Absolutely. 8 down against TCU, 12 down 4th quarter with the hysteria of a whiteout.
Right.
And Haskins was money.
Yes.
End of the 1st quarter, though, and the Boilermakers with that 98-yard drive lead at 7-0. Back after this message and a word from your local ABC station. And welcome back. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, and Maria Taylor as the Buckeyes begin the 2nd quarter, threatening to even this game at 7. Ball is at the 7.
Matchup that they want to try to go for it is right here, KJ Hill against the safety Thieneman.
Dobbins slipped as he cut, and that ruined the play. He'll be stacked up back at the 6. Anthony Watson-Jones stopped him, one of 4 natural grass fields in the Big Ten. And you could see it play a part there.
And not only slippery, but Purdue really aggressive. Brought their linebackers down. Defensive linemen getting off of blocks. Good aggressive approach there by Nick Holt, the defensive coordinator, set up this 3rd and goal.
They got Dobbins far to the left, the bottom of your screen. 5 receiver look. Hill now motions in. Haskins for the end zone. Deflected and knocked away. He was looking for McLaurin, and Antonio Blackman was there to break it up. And the Boilermaker defense makes a stand.
Ohio State had a couple receivers at the bottom with Dobbins. They're trying to create a pick there, but really outstanding effort by Blackman not to get caught up in that. The receivers didn't get enough depth to create the traffic, and it allowed Blackman to eventually catch up and knock that ball away. And plus the ball underthrown a bit by Haskins.
2nd game that Sean Nurnberger is not going to be able to kick because of a groin strain. So Blake Hobbiel, that's how the family likes the name said now. Hobbiel, he's been the kickoff specialist, but a very reliable field goal guy too. Buckeyes on the board, but Boilermakers keep him out of the end zone. Taco Bell is celebrating student sections this season and passionate fans like these by awarding the best student section of the year. Boilermaker students already on the national watch list. You can go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell to see how your school can compete. So Ohio State comes up with 3. The 2 15-yard penalties against Purdue don't really cost them, as the Buckeyes kept out of the end zone in the red zone. And now Rondell Moore to receive a kick. This is now the Buckeyes kicking off into the wind, and Moore's going to have a chance here. And he doesn't need much space, does he? Scampers out to the 34. No one loves their school more than Purdue student Tyler Trent, and our Tom Rinaldi on game day. Just a superb piece, Tom, and what a moment tonight for Tyler.
Chris, as you mentioned, a story we shared on College Game Day early this morning, as this entire fan base has rallied around one of their own, sophomore Tyler Trent. Trent has fought through cancer 3 times to form an incredible bond with this football program. There you can see the type of fan that he's been. He served as an honorary captain last season, and then again this season, forming a special bond with head coach Jeff Brom. After the team defeated Nebraska, they went and presented him with the game ball after he had to leave school as a result of his illness. Now in home hospice care, 20 years old, Chris. He has circled this night, this game, as the place he most wants to be. There he is, against long odds after an incredibly difficult week. Tyler Trent has rallied to make it here tonight, looking on from the suite. And I guarantee this, no one, Chris, more fired up about this Purdue lead than that young man, Tyler Trent.
It's a beautiful story. You saw that he cut the P into his head.
Yeah.
He is a deep, deep fan of this program. And you saw the sack on first down. Now they tried another screen, but he threw it back into traffic. Tyler is very active on social media. You've been
he and I've communicated a little bit, and Tom did such an incredible job of telling his story, and Tyler is such an inspiration to so many people with his strength and his courage and his story. His family's obviously been there every step along the way with him, and we all are in Tyler's corner and with his family.
David Plow and Jeff Brom, so many of this program affected by his strength, his spirit, his example, his love of this school and this program. Boilermakers facing a 3rd and 19 here. Ohio State rushes 4. The tight end Hopkins is over across the middle, but he's going to be short of a first down by a few yards. The sack on first down set him back, and Purdue will have to punt.
Greg Schiano has come into this game with a very simple plan on 1st and 2nd down. We are going to blitz them with our middle linebackers and get to that quarterback before he can beat us in man-to-man. It's worked most of the drives until the last drive where they went 98 yards and put a touchdown up on the board to take the lead.
Chopper's been under pressure, hasn't gotten the punts off super quick. Buckeyes don't really come after this, and now with the wind at his back, it's a deep boot that drives KJ Hill back to the 6-yard line, makes a fair catch there, and now it's Ohio State's turn to be backed up inside their own 10-yard line. Down by 4, 51 yards on the punt.
See him and then get used to that uniform, isn't it?
Weber, a first down carry, gets out across the 10-yard line.
It's one of the better carries they've had tonight. They've now run the football 8 times. They have 20 rushing yards.
Only have 67 total yards. This is the team that, as we said, 6 of 7 games has topped 500 yards of total offense. Haskins pressured, trying to escape, and is going to be knocked down for a short loss. That was L. Jones who got him.
Well, they brought linebacker safety for Carnell eventually gets to him. This is what he does. This is what they like to do, is bring the linebacker, bring the safety, try to win one-on-one matchups against a bigger lineman, and that's where Jones' athletic ability, this sophomore at 240 pounds, gets right by Demetrius Knox with quickness.
Kirk, you talked about the offensive struggles with the running game. It's been a struggle on 3rd down, too. 1 for 4 so far. Boilermakers rush 4. So Haskins has time. That's an easy pitch and catch as Johnny Dixon grabs it, and it's a first down. Did not bring the blitz that time.
Well, they back off of Dixon because he has such great speed. And Nick Holt, who's there with the glasses, fired up because he gave too big of a cushion on 3rd down. Blackman's bailing, and you got to know that ball is going to be coming out a lot sooner on 3rd and 7.
First down catch by Benjamin Victor out to the 29-yard line. The lanky receiver had the huge touchdown play in the comeback over Penn State.
I'm always amazed college corners at 3rd and 7 are bailing at 10, 12, 15 yards and just giving the easy first down.
Weber hit immediately and spun down at the line of scrimmage by Kenneth Major. The corner's been active so far tonight for Purdue.
Yeah, Chris, I mean, for a freshman, he's been dealing with a little bit of a hammy. You think of corners, you always think of how they do in coverage, and he's probably their best cover guy, even though he's a freshman. But I tell you, he's physical, gritty, tough guy. You see it on that time he dictated there against that involved and kept Ohio State short of that first down.
See what the call is for Nick Holt's defense. Third down. Buckeyes need 4. And now there's going to be a flag.
Offense number 59.
Oh, boy.
5-yard penalty.
Second time for the senior who's a captain on this team, Isaiah Prince.
You know, after the game against Minnesota in the second half, if you watch the game and watch some of his reactions, some of the quotes from the Ohio State coaches, thought it became mental as much as just physical struggles. And now Win Road, a couple errors, you can see Urban Meyer frustrated. His captain and leader, he's kind of yips right now. It's third down.
Now they need 9. Haskins is pressured, steps up, delivers a strike. KJ Hill's got it again. Another first down to the 35. Accurate throw by the quarterback.
Watch the pressure again. Watch him step into this as the linebacker Bailey hits him. That's a big-time throw by Dwayne Haskins. It's one thing to sit back there, and it's almost like 7-on-7. It's another thing when a big safety at 240 pounds is about to hit you, and you keep your focus downfield and throw a strike.
Twice completions on 3rd and long, and now Weber bangs across. A flag comes in late after a 7-yard gain. He was behind play.
Holding. Offense number 73. 10-yard penalty. Repeats first
Time it's Michael Jordan, the center, and the mistakes. Kirk piling up for this embattled offensive line.
I was just about to talk about Jordan had a chance to go one-on-one with Lorenzo Neal right there in the middle of the screen. I thought it might have been a good block because he ends up putting him on his back, but you can see he's got a hold of the jersey there and then eventually puts him on his back to give Weber some running room, but the officials caught that. Good eye down there by the official to see that.
It's about 625 pounds colliding there. Neal did a good job to raise his hand, say, hey, he's holding me.
Yeah.
He's holding me. 1st and 20. Haskins look to the flat, now pitches it to Hill, who had a couple blocks, but the Boilermakers close him down. That was Ohio native Bailey.
Yeah, Marcus Bailey, when you looked at this defense when they came back this year, they only had 3 or 4 guys that had played extensive football. Bailey is one of them. The loss of Jawan Bentley, his the guy who played middle linebacker for them last year, was really the leader. But Bailey out of Hilliard-Davidson, close to Columbus, really fired up, as you said earlier, Chris, and making good plays.
Empty backfield. Weber is split out to the bottom of the screen. Haskins looks across the middle and fires a short completion there to C.J. Saunders out of the slot. It'll be 3rd down and about 6 this time.
Yeah, that's just that play is just to try to create a one-on-one matchup to the quick Saunders, very fleet-footed 3rd down type of receiver where they get some space just to set up a more manageable 3rd down.
Haskins has been very sharp in his 2 3rd down plays in this drive. Boilermakers bring pressure, good protection, low throw, incomplete. It's 4th down. Didn't really get near him, but it was enough to affect the throw.
And I think it affected Haskins a little bit of a slow snap, just didn't quite have his rhythm. Ball is not thrown as accurately as you typically would see. Ohio State, tonight on offense, only 4.5 yards per play. They came into tonight averaging 7 yards a play on the year. So Purdue doing a good job defensively on Ohio State.
Drew Crispin to punt into the wind, and here's Rondell Moore coming up to make a fair catch at the 26-yard line. So this Purdue defense, which has given up a ton of points and yards, coming up big so far tonight. They'll go back to work up by 4.
My burger goes best with mustard.
Ketchup and mustard.
Grass-fed beef.
No, corn-fed.
Yeah, we told you when we came into this game that Rondell Moore, the true freshman, could do a lot of different things, and Ohio State had to account for him. And when you give him space, it's an issue. They've done a very good job of being creative at times, using him as a decoy, which set up a big play to DJ Knox. Even this play, look at the safety looking at Moore, opens up the touchdown pass to Isaac Zico. The safety's a little bit late getting over, so Rondell Moore having a big impact so far on this Purdue offense and what they need to do.
He's in the backfield. Blau instead looks over the middle, and he's got the tight end running free. This is Cole Herdman, and he barrels well into Ohio State territory, the veteran senior tight end.
So these linebackers are getting aggressive coming in here. What do? You look right behind them. If they're going to come down in there and expect to either blitz the quarterback or be in run support, look for the tight end Hertman getting right behind aggressive linebackers, which Ohio State's been doing all night.
19-yard gain, or 29-yard gain, I should say. And now, what looked like it was going to be a flea flicker. Knox it was a fake. He looked like he was going to pitch it back to Blau, kept it, and muscled forward for 4.
I don't think he fooled anybody, but you know what he did? He showed how physical of a runner he is. You're right. It was a fake flea flicker back to the quarterback, but at 5'7", 210 pounds, he is a tough guy to get your hands on. He just lowered his head, and instead of a loss, he ends up picking up 4 or 5 yards.
He's strong, Kirk, but I think it's just his attitude. He just runs mad. It has as much to do with anything as the broken tackles. Now they fake it to him. Blau's going to scramble, heave it downfield, jump ball, flag down, catch made by Zico at the 11-yard line. Now did he push off?
Yeah, he pushed on the back of Kendall Sheffield. This will come back. By the way, David Blau got crushed when he threw that football.
Landers came in, the old junkyard dog defensive tackle, and hit him. Linemen are trying to get him straight.
Pass interference. Offense number 7. Pushed off. 15-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
It's the second offensive pass interference, and
I know
Blau's in some pain after the hit.
Yeah, a little stutter and go. Sheffield never puts his hands on him. The only hands that were put on anybody is the receiver. Zico pushes the corner, Sheffield, right in the back. Created that separation. That's what the officials saw. That is a big hit by Landers. We call him the junkyard dog at a Huber Heights, went to Wayne High School. Great high school and a great player.
So Ohio State will use a timeout. The penalty backs the Boilermakers up into their territory. It'll be 2nd and 20 when you come back. All right, Cassidy. Purdue's had 4 15-yard penalties in this first half. They'll face a 2nd and 20. Buckeyes bring pressure. Blau backpedals and delivers a low throw, incomplete. Trying to get the ball to Terry Wright. Ends up on his back again.
They're doing a good job of getting pressure on Blau, who is always trying to work on getting his feet set, even after movement. There's the pressure. See how he's kind of falling off? Jeff Brom telling us this week, as good as he has played, the one area that he still wants to work with him is stepping through his throws instead of coming off of them.
Brom knew, Kirk, that penalties like they've had in many of their games just were not going to work against a defense as good as Ohio State. They were able to overcome it in that touchdown drive. But the second offensive pass interference really set him back, and now it's 3rd and 20. Buckeyes running defenders on late. Ohio State not giving a real pressure look. And getting off the edge quickly there. No flag. Blau delivers across the middle. Moore, look out. Moore's tackled right there beautifully by Sean Wade. That time Wade got the better of that matchup.
Yeah.
It's 4th down.
Chris, they're all over it. I don't know if people realize how good of a play that is in the open field against Rondale Moore. That is a tough thing to do. As Moore does a good job off from the right, working over the middle. He beats him, but then you can get an idea how fast Sean Wade is in space. He eliminates the cushion and then is able to go low and come up with that tackle.
He didn't buy the stop and go that Moore loves to do. He got stop and a dime and then accelerate again. And so many defenders have looked foolish this year trying to tackle him. Here's Shopper trying to pin Ohio State deep. Kicks it with backspin very high, and they are able to down it. So Purdue does its job on the punt team, and Ohio State will be backed up once again. To Tom Rinaldi.
Chris, thank you very much. We just shared the story of Tyler Trent, and up now in the box with him. Tyler, you have circled this on your calendar for the longest period of time. Had to leave school just a few weeks ago. Didn't want to do that. What does it mean to you to be here tonight?
Oh, it's such a blessing and super special. Haven't had the greatest week health-wise, and so just to be here is a wave of emotions for sure. Especially to see all the support and all the signs from everyone, and it's been just incredible, honestly.
24 hours ago, let people know what you were going through and what you thought the chances were that you'd be here tonight.
24 hours ago, I was in my bed, trying to sleep, puking all over the place. It was not pretty. You did not want to be there. Thankfully, my family was and there to support me, and honestly thought it was going to be about zero that I was here. So,
what did it mean to you when you saw the Boilermakers come out tonight? You had quite a reaction.
Yeah, my eyes, I definitely started tearing up just because I didn't think I was going to be here 24 hours ago. And next thing you know, I'm up here and watching the Boilermakers up on Ohio State right now. So, it's hard to complain about that.
A huge 3rd and 1. Looks like the Buckeyes do get the first down. You are a sports writer. You know this program as well as anybody in this stadium right now. Knowing there may be some bias involved, let's get a prediction here the rest of the way.
I'll pull for Purdue, 24-17.
A close one.
Oh yeah, it's never not close with Ohio State. They got a good program year in and year out. So
we appreciate you sharing this story. You've touched so many, and you've inspired even more, Tyler. We really do.
Thank you. I appreciate it,
guys.
Tom, if you think you've had a rough day, you have obstacles in your life, think about the strength of this guy. It's inspiring indeed. Absolutely awesome he's able to be here tonight and feel this support in person. Haskins loops to try to get it to Campbell, was behind him. Talked about Drew Brees watching the telecast, and like everybody in this extended Boilermaker family, inspired by that young man's strength. Your school loves you too, the Tyler Trent. We all feel your strength and are inspired by your will. You are special. You make us all better. We are with you.
It's awesome.
Boilermaker for life. He's got a sharp analytical mind here. He knows it's going to be tough. It's going to be close. And plays like this 3rd down could help decide this game. Ohio State needs 6. Purdue rushes 4. Haskins has a lot of time, and it's another pitch for a first down to the 25-yard line. That's Saunders again.
Well, they brought the blitz, but the Ohio State offensive line does a much better job of accounting for that blitz. Put a wall up that time. You give Dwayne Haskins time to set his feet. He's going to find an open man. And this time, it's the quick, fleet-footed C.J. Saunders who settles in there and makes a nice play for that first down.
He took a big hit at the end of the catch. He's got some sod on his face mask, and the athletic trainers are out talking to Saunders. But Ohio State has moved the ball out of the shadow of their own goalposts out across the 25-yard line. Saunders, a junior from Dublin. And they'll take him to the sideline to continue the examination. And we saw this afternoon Tua Tagovailoa, the lefty from Alabama, Riddle, Tennessee. Dwayne Haskins from Nissan Heisman Watch, also a strong contender for that trophy. Can you give a lefty and a righty Heisman? Right. Divide it up, maybe?
Boy, it's going to end up being a heck of a race. Dwayne Haskins is continuing to put up numbers. We'll see how tonight goes, the rest of the year goes. Of course, Tua at Alabama. And Kyler Murray is having a monster year at Oklahoma. The Sooners back in action, and he had a big day today against the Corn Frogs.
Hot pass to Paris Campbell, who's chased by Jones, but he gets the corner using that speed and gets within a yard of the marker.
Like we have a flag up there where Paris Campbell went down.
Holding. Offense number 13. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
It's the second penalty on Rashad Berry, the tight end tonight.
You know, he's had a couple. He had a false start, and now the hold. Locked up there with his safety, Thieneman, doesn't let go of him, and right in front of the official. Pretty good effort there by Paris Campbell to get to the edge, get around the corner, and pick up some yards.
Mark Lazinski's crew has spotted the hold. One of these guys that tried to grab a jersey, they paid the price tonight. So Haskins backed up, flips the screen to Dobbins. He's got blockers. J.K. Dobbins in the clear, was just held up briefly. Still able to get a first down before Mosley drove him out.
You know, it's not been a big night so far running the football, but you still want to get Dobbins involved. What better way than just a simple little screen to let the lineman get downfield and you get him, much like Rondale Moore, you get two and White out in space. Man, he can make a lot of people miss.
And he had a gap, but he sort of stumbled. Now Haskins across the middle, almost intercepted. It was Jones dropping deep into coverage against Hill, had it in his hands.
Jones does a good job getting vertical. All of a sudden, the ball is on him. He's in perfect position to come up with that interception. And I don't think Dwayne Haskins thought that Jones would get that kind of depth to be able to be in position to make a play on the ball. By the time he turned, ball was in his hands, just unable to hold on to it.
Very nearly just the fifth interception for Haskins. He hands it off to Dobbins. Yeah, Jones is a guy that plays near the line of scrimmage. He's like a run-stopping middle backer. You don't expect to see him cover a receiver.
Yeah, I love when Nick Holt talks about Jones, and he says he's a Mike linebacker. He's a Big Ten linebacker, meaning he's physical. And we mentioned they lost Jawan Bentley, the leadership and the playmaking ability at that spot, so they needed Jones to step up this year. And he and Derek Barnes have really become a great team with Marcus Bailey.
Yeah, they don't come out of the game. They asked their linebackers to play a whole lot of snaps, and there was some feeling that maybe Jones has been wearing down the last couple of games, but he's come up big so far. On third down, they bring pressure. Buckeyes pick it up, and Haskins makes a long throw for a first down to McLaurin.
There's that NFL arm from one hash all the way to the sidelines the other way. Soft cushion again. The line does a good job there on third down. Tight spiral, right where McLaurin can make that play. That time, Blackman, instead of bailing there on third down, was actually a little bit closer to being able to make a play on the ball, but the accuracy and velocity by Haskins prevented that from happening.
McLaurin came in, Kirk, just 118 yards short of 1,000 for the career, which would give Ohio State 3 1,000-yard receivers for the career for the first time ever. From the pocket, Haskins looking downfield for Hill, one of those guys, and he's dancing around inside the 20.
Well, this is a matchup that KJ Hill will win every time when you match him up one-on-one. They're playing man-free. There's not a safety back there to help. You can see right when he got off the line of scrimmage, he had a chance to get separation from Smiley, who's the nickelback. A mismatch. That's what Dwayne Haskins can bring to the table. Not just the accuracy, recognizing the mismatch and the one-on-one opportunity where you can win, and he hits it.
Good for 32 yards. Boilermaker showing pressure again. Haskins going to have to hurry. Play clock at 3. You just get the snap off. Long throw for Dixon in the end zone, and he overshot him. The Boilermakers, just by showing that blitz, disrupted some of the timing. Thieneman, the safety, came.
Nick Holt trying to do the best that he can. Realistically, they're undermanned up front. And their corners right now, they're trying to mix up coverage, show some zone, show some man-to-man, bring some pressure, rush 3, drop 8. Nick Holt, who's been around the college game for a long time, doing a good job of trying to confuse Dwayne Haskins.
Years as a Pete Carroll understudy at USC, was also at Washington. 2nd and 10. Dobbins escapes a tackle and really has to earn a short gain. It'll be 3rd and long, though. Blackman drove him out.
See, that's an example where you hear Ohio State's coaches saying, well, we've been doing a lot of run-pass option. We've been throwing a lot, and when we run, the numbers just aren't right. Well, there's an example where the numbers are right, and the offensive line just gets whipped up front, and there's nowhere to go for these backs.
Averaging just combined 2.3 per carry tonight, Dobbins and Weber. Continuing the theme you talked about from recent weeks. Can Haskins create another accurate throw on 3rd and 9? Got to hurry. And with the play clock winding down this time on 3rd down, Urban Meyer spends a timeout. Each team has had a long, grinding drive into the wind, which is moving left to right on your screen here. Purdue earlier went 98 yards for the touchdown. Now, Kirk, it's been a 14-play, 83-yard drive for Ohio State.
Ohio State has talked all week about the red zone being better, being more efficient. They've been inside the red zone area once, did not come away with a touchdown. See if Haskins finds a matchup that he likes. A little bit more zone here.
Pick up the pressure for the end zone. Incomplete. Benjamin Victor was there, and that's Blackman, who has broken up a couple of potential touchdowns tonight.
How about the effort here? Because he's beaten on the left here. Good job of finding the big receiver. Look at the positioning of that football. Right where you want it to be, and out of nowhere, Blackman doesn't give up on the play and gets his left hand in there to knock that ball away from the long receiver, Benjamin Victor.
So once again, Ohio State gets down in the red zone, but doesn't reach the end zone. And Javier, for his second field goal attempt tonight, he hooked it. So he had been very, very solid filling in for the injured Nurnberger. Buckeyes drive it 83 yards in 16 plays and come up empty.
It's a huge stop by this Purdue defense. Great effort by Blackman to set up the field goal. And the backup kicker ends up hooking it left. Now, Jeff Brom has a decision to make with 3 timeouts and 1:51 to go. He's talked all week about being aggressive. He's talked all week about these last 4 weeks. The reason our offense is better is we're taking our shots. We're being aggressive. This is a great position here for him to be aggressive and try to go get some points.
I think he has to be shocked, honestly, that his defense has held Ohio State to 3. He thought he'd have to outscore.
I think everybody thought that.
We all did.
Yeah, I thought it'd be a shootout.
And see how bold the former quarterback at Louisville is. It's a first down handoff, and Knox breaks free. Knox in the clear, banging off Buckeye defenders out near the 40, and that should change the complexion of this drive now.
Ohio State got so far upfield at the line of scrimmage that it actually created a seam for Knox to be able to find, and he had great vision to be able to find that hole.
19-yard gain. He's got it again. And with those timeouts to spare, let's see, will he use one here? Not yet.
Start getting the linebackers coming downhill. You wouldn't be surprised to see to try to throw the ball in behind them.
Wow, pitches it downfield, has a man wide open. Zico, the man who made the touchdown catch earlier, wrestled down at the 20.
Kendall Sheffield did not get hands on Isaac Zico. See how Zico goes right behind him? Good recognition by Blau. Terrible job there by Sheffield of not getting hands on to slow down Zico to be able to get the ball, to be able to eventually get it downfield by David Blau. And I don't know, Sheffield, not like him. See, he's down. He's going to take a knee. I don't know. It's not like him not to reroute or jam the receiver.
Very slow to get up. One of the fastest corners in all of college football, the 60-meter indoor record holder at Ohio State. And Chris Felica, the Bear, not with a question this week, but an Aflac fact. There.
That's right. Tonight's Aflac Game Fact. Purdue looking to be the top 5 team for the first time since 1999 when they beat Michigan State. The head coach of that team that they beat right to the top 5 that night, Nick Saban.
Oh. Yeah, that was a Drew Brees. It was maybe the most humbling, infuriating game Saban's ever had in terms of defense. Brees went nuts to Chris Daniels.
With Sheffield out, now you have Wade move from nickel to corner up at the top.
Wow. Low throw. Rondell Moore goes down to get it again. The clock ticking, but they've got those 3 timeouts.
And Sheffield actually will come back onto the field. One of his own players hit him and caused him to have to go out for a play, but he now comes back out, and Dante Booker runs off of the field.
Plenty of time with those timeouts. Blitz. End zone throw, and way over the head of Sparks. It's 3rd down and 3.
See how Ohio State tries to defend Rondell Moore. They have Sean Wade right opposite of him. Remember, the underneath route, crossing route has helped him. This time he moves to the offense's left. They also have the big tight end is an option off to the right-hand side, Herdman.
Kirk, late first half, but a crucial play here. The Boilermakers need 3 to move the sticks, keep hope alive of reaching the end zone and stretching this lead before halftime. And this would be a score that would reverberate around the country if Purdue goes in up 11 at the break. Ohio State crowds the line, brings the pressure. Blau delivers, and it's dropped across the middle by Moore, who whacks himself on the helmet. That would have been first and goal at least.
They motion Knox to open up the middle. We just talked about crossing routes being what you would look for in a one-on-one matchup with Rondale Moore against Wade. It's there. He got separation. The ball is there. Moore, if he catches that, it's a first down at the very least.
All he's done for the team, you forgive him a mistake, but that was a crucial one. Because now, instead of a first and goal, it's Spencer Evans, who's kicked a lot of field goals this year, 11 of 14 from 30 yards to make the lead 7. And it's a fake. And the holder takes off and is going to be knocked down at the 9-yard line by Jordan Fuller. Shopper took off, but he got the first down. Wow.
He's had an active night tonight. The punter and holder, it was just a matter of a race to that corner. Whether he would get there before Jordan Fuller ended up recognizing it. Watch Fuller run 4, and it's just a race. Can he get there? Can he get to that first down marker before Fuller hits him? And he just gets it.
So this is the kind of gambling that Jeff Brom is known for. That's a tough run. Lower the shoulder and take a shot. He got 4 on 4th and 3.
Or
Purdue spent a timeout.
Or stand up upright and take a shot.
As you said,
I don't know if he lowered his
he's
shoulder.
fairly important. I mean, he's a punter and a holder. You don't need that guy knocked out of the game. But the calculated risk pays all smart. I'm playing football tonight, Coach.
As you said, man, that's Jeff Brom in a nutshell. We knew coming in we'd see some trick plays. And he decides here, we talked just before this drive, is he going to be aggressive? He talked about being aggressive all week. And there's an aggressive decision.
Kevin, Mack, and the Capital One halftime report, 31 seconds away. But now Purdue, a chance to reach the end zone. It's a tough one. It's first and goal at the 9 against this stout defense. The earlier flea flicker gamble didn't work. That fake field goal did. Wow, rolls that direction and delivers underneath. Touchdown! Moore makes up for the drop and reaches the end zone. And the fake field goal pays off big time.
What a design by Jeff Brom. See, Tyler is fired up. Isaac Zico, who caught a touchdown pass earlier, does a really good job of setting up an illegal rub or a pick that prevents Isaiah Pryor from getting out there to make the play in man-to-man coverage.
7th catch for Moore, 90 yards. And that drop, Kirk, that looked like it was going to be costly, looked like it might cost the Boilermakers 4 points. But the fake called by Brom, executed by Shopper, and here's the touchdown.
Yeah. Good job by Isaac Zico. He'll come from outside, and he doesn't touch Pryor, but he just gets in the way of him. And also, you'll notice a nice pick, or nice little chip block here by DJ Knox on Chase Young. Just enough. There's the rub, and you give Rondale Moore a rub like that, a rub on a rub route, just enough room. He's going to walk into the end zone with that speed, with his speed after the catch.
There's the progressive pylon camp. As you said, Zico didn't block anybody. It was legal, but he got in the way. And there's the reaction from Tyler. The entire Boilermaker Nation has to be thrilled with what they've seen in the first half, especially from this defense. The lead is 11 now. Brock got him fired up before the game. But I think in his wildest dreams, he didn't expect to hold Ohio State to 3 points in the first half. And if Ohio State's going to keep their undefeated season and leadership of the Big Ten East alive, once again, they are going to have to come from behind, double digits down in a conference road game. With the wind, kickoff just pounded deep into the end zone. Haskins has had some good-looking throws, and they've generated 173 pass yards, Kirk, but it's been the red zone tonight that's been the problem for the Buckeyes.
Twice down inside the red zone, unable to come away with touchdowns. He is 20 of 26. And, you know, they had a vertical pass where he missed McLaurin. They've had some chances, but a lot of it's been the underneath throws. The underneath throws typically for Haskins eventually lead to finding the vertical seams. Hasn't happened as much as you'd think here in this first half, but still an entire second half to go for both these teams.
There's Weber. And the Boilermakers, who have not been a very efficient red zone team, they're 2 for 2 touchdowns when they get down there thanks to the execution of that fake field goal. And that has been the difference. One team's been a lot better in the red zone than the other. And the Boilermakers, 2 touchdown home underdogs, will lead by 11 at halftime. Officials keeping the teams apart. They have to cross each other as they go to their respective locker rooms. All the folks dressed in black tonight, very excited about what they've seen. This team that began the season 0-3, 3 difficult, close losses. Now 30 minutes away from a huge upset. Let's go to Maria, Coach Brom.
All right, Coach, you went with the gamble on the fake field goal, and it pays off. What fueled that decision?
I think we understand this game. We got to take some chances. The great thing is our defense is playing aggressive. We're making some plays on offense. And on special teams, we're playing aggressive. I think that's going to make a difference.
You got the #2 team in the nation down 2 scores going into the locker room. What will be the message to your team coming back out?
Well, there's a lot of game left. And while we played a good first half, this team's going to come out. I've seen this team come back numerous times. They're a great football team. They're well coached. We got to continue to play hard. We got to continue to play aggressive. We got to continue to take chances and hope that will pay off in the end.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Good assessment. Aggression in all 3 phases of the game for Purdue, but Brom knows Ohio State doesn't panic, and they've come back plenty of times. 14-3 Boilermakers. Capital One halftime coming up right after these messages.
Look around with artificial.
Welcome to the Capital One Halftime Report.
14-point underdogs at home. David Blau, a pair of touchdowns. Purdue's playmakers doing work. They're up 14-3 against #2 Ohio State. Buckeyes will get the ball to open up the second half. Meanwhile, another shocker going on. Oregon, Washington State, and Pullman. How about this? The Ducks. Washington State driving, and the Ducks look lost. Little trickeration there. Center lined up to the right side, everybody to the left, and here comes James Williams going to the right side, and he survives and then goes in.
Well, it wasn't about the trickeration. It was about Oregon not tackling the running back. They haven't played well tonight.
Talk about flat.
Hangover.
Exactly.
Hangover after the Washington overtime win last week, and Washington State is all over them.
Mario Cristobal frustrated right there. Gardner Minshew, the touchdown pass to Aesop Winston. Yeah. Washington State at home, game day there. It was a big deal, and they are performing at night. Welcome to the studio. Kevin Nagandi here alongside Mac Brown and Jonathan Velma. So the surprise that we have on our broadcast, how is Purdue doing it?
Well, the Ohio States of the world are going to get the best shot early, and they'll get a surge, but they've stopped Ohio State's running game. They got 28 yards rushing, and they're beating them with speed in space. And they got to do something to slow that down.
So what I love to see right now is the pace that Purdue's offense is going with. It's keeping Ohio State basic on defense. David Blau's been able to scan the defense, pick his poison. Rondale Moore, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, Ohio State has to start the game over and understand they've won a lot more than Purdue, so they probably still come back and win this.
That's later on ESPN. Right now on ABC, the Boilermakers trying to spring an upset trap. Saturday Night Football, presented by Walmart. This presentation of the Big Ten on ABC. Purdue more efficient in the red zone. A big gamble that paid off for Jeff Brom. And an 11-point cushion. Ohio State, Kirk, will get the football begin the third quarter. We've seen them come from behind against TCU, come from double digits down at Penn State, got to try to do it again. This first drive feels pretty important for the Buckeyes.
It does. You know, we came into this game expecting a competitive game, but a shootout. We thought that Purdue had a chance to score on Ohio State's defense, and definitely Dwayne Haskins against his Purdue defense. And here we are, 14-3. Ohio State missed opportunities in the red zone. They were down in there twice, only came away with 3 points.
There won't be any panic from this team, though. The quarterback stays very cool and calm in these situations. And again, the kickoffs with the win tonight are just sailing deep into the end zone. There's our Pacific Life game summary. And we talked about Purdue's big play offense. It was a long, methodical drive, 98-yard touchdown drive, but Ohio State not able to execute when they got in the red zone.
Yeah, Purdue's done what they needed to do defensively to be able to knock the ball away. Ohio State just the 3 points in the red zone. Blau with a slow start, but then started to settle in and make some big plays. Isaac Zico's had the touchdown where he just got the right foot in for their first touchdown, and then he created a pick, which gave Moore enough room to be able to get to the corner and give them that touchdown after the fake field goal.
And 90 receiving yards in the first half for Moore. Haskins looking to throw. He's grabbed as he gets it off to Barry, and he makes a man miss and gets out across the 35-yard line. It's a first down.
You made a great point, Chris. We talked about it earlier when Ohio State got down. They have been there and done that as far as being down to TCU away from home at Penn State in a hostile environment, able to come back from that. There's a belief.
Hill on the edge. TCU, they scored 20 points in 4 minutes to turn that game around. And then it was the 2 long touchdown drives against Penn State in that delirious whiteout situation.
That's the thing. When you do it in that kind of setting, then you get into this kind of setting, you're down 14-3. You're in that locker room. You're Dwayne Haskins. You're looking at your guys. And you're saying, guys, we've been here. Let's start fast to start this second half. If you're Purdue, you're thinking, hey, guys, let's try to get them off the field in this first drive. So you're right. This is a big opening drive.
Play action. Haskins has time and delivers downfield. And it's Mack slipping a tackle. Austin Mack inside the 40 before Major stopped him.
They were into the first half. I talked about Ohio State. Sheffield not doing a good job at jamming the receiver. When you have a high safety like that, you have to jam the receiver to give the safety a chance to come over. This time, it's Purdue not doing the good job of jamming Mack at the line of scrimmage. Gave him a chance to slip behind a corner and had room.
Haskins collects the low snap and fires down at Dixon over the head and incomplete.
Well, I think that might have gone right through his hands. Ball is thrown to the outside shoulder. He had a lot of room to work with to the field. He gets behind Blackman and, right off of the 2 hands of Johnny Dixon. Now, granted, that's a tough catch, but Dwayne Haskins putting that ball where his receiver has room to work to be able to separate and pull away from the corner, Antonio Blackman. Good throw.
Haskins from the pocket on 2nd and 10. Good protection. And has the tight end Farrell wide open. He's still driving those legs, and he's out inside the 25. Another first down.
Tell you what, it's a great effort. Those are the kind of plays that move the sticks and keep the drive alive. And now you can go tempo to try to get Purdue's defense a little confused, and they are.
They were not even lined up at the snap. And now on the edge, barreling inside the 10-yard line is Campbell.
Go back to that play by Luke Farrell. They got it the first down. That ignites the offense to go